friends, it's Jacqueline here. In today's video, I'm bringing my review, demo, swatches, a ton of comparisons, and 3 eyeshadow looks using the brand new Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey Holiday 2021 collection, QUADS, and new highlighter. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now, if you want to know all the details about these new products from Pat McGrath, then just keep on watching. Here we are for part 2 of Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey Holiday 2021 collection. I went ahead and picked up the 2 new eyeshadow quads as well as a new highlighter. I already have reviewed this palette right here. I will make sure to leave it up on the cards or on my description box below for your convenience. If you want to know about swatches, different eyeshadow looks, etc., it will be there. Also, this collection came out with 2 trio of blushes and highlighters. All of those are existing shades on the line of Pat McGrath, and I have already reviewed them. All the blushes, I do have all the highlighters. Here on my channel, I review everything Pat McGrath. I review everything that has to do with luxury makeup and high-end makeup. So again, I will try to remind myself to leave it on the description box below, so that way if you're interested to see the swatches, comparisons, and whatnot, it will be right there for you. Okay friends, so let's talk about these babies right here. As you can tell, I already have my makeup on. Well, my foundation, my concealer, I have bronzer. I went ahead and skipped the blush for right now because the first thing that I want to show you is the highlighter in Lunar Nude, and the packaging is beautiful. Now the unicorn is the same as, I mean, not exactly the same. It has a little bit of variation with this red trimming right here, but very alike to the latest Pat McGrath QUADS. But oh, when you see it inside, my goodness, it's to die for. Now this highlighter is made in Italy and it has a shelf life of 18 months. It has a Baked Gelée formula, but what about if we open it up right here when you see it? And by the way, I will be leaving all the details of the products that I will be using today, the rest of my makeup, everything will be linked on the description box for your convenience. And as you know guys, my links, not all of them, but most of them, they are affiliate links, and when you use them, you're supporting my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but you're not obligated. If you just want to use them as a reference, you can do so. It's up to you. Anyhow friends, let's go for this beauty right here. So this is a Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlighter in Lunar Nude. Oh my goodness, isn't it so beautiful? And by the way, if you're new here, I film in natural light. I have 2 big screen doors right here. Today I do have lights on this side right here, they are off. I only have this backlight right here on, and that's it. So nothing is pointing at me. So what you see right here is what you will see kind of like in real life, or the best representation as if you were looking at it, you know, the real thing in person. I think this is just stunning, gorgeous, gorgeous. The embossing is just so regal. I just feel bad to even swatch it, but hey, we have to do this. Oh wow. Now that has a little bit of like a pink undertone, a little bit more of like a champagne pink. It's not super cool tone, but it's not super warm tone either. Now I'm gonna go with my Refer 20 brush. That, by the way guys, if you don't know, Refer is having amazing deals right now going on their website. I will make sure again to leave the link right there in the description box below, but it's incredible. There's a ton of things for 40% off. Their new holiday collection is also available. I mean, they just have amazing brushes, and right now they also have this beautiful compartment organizer set that is amazing. Anyhow, you have to check it out. Let's go for this baby right here. By the way, I don't have any blush right now because I really want you to see the true undertone of this highlighter on my light to medium skin tone. I do have more of like a neutral kind of undertone, and I still have a little bit of my summer tan. Ooh, wow. That's potent right there, and I went lightly, like I tapped so lightly. I do have texture right here, and I feel like the formulation is forgiving to texture. I don't see that it's super emphasizing it. You know, some highlighters, sometimes they are too greedy and they tend to emphasize texture even more. This one seems just fine. I'm on my 4th floor too, so I do have fine lines, and I don't like very potent highlighters, but mostly those that actually melt into the skin, and this one is doing that. It's melting into the skin really well. Now let's move on right here into comparisons. I'm gonna swatch this baby once again. I feel so bad to ruin the embossing. It's just so beautiful. I'm just gonna swatch it right over here. And I'm gonna compare it to last year's highlighter from the holiday collection. This is called Champagne Gold. I actually really like this highlighter. Although it looks deep, I think it suits most of those who are more into the light, medium, closer to medium tan skin tones. I think it's really beautiful. I'm gonna put it under it. This one right here is cooler in tone. As you can see, the new one leans a little bit more champagne with that pink undertone. Now let's swatch Divine Rose. This one is gorgeous. This has a little bit more of like a peachy undertone to it, although it's supposed to be more pink, but it's not. I'm gonna put it above. Yeah, this has more peach than Lunar Nude. And now when the blushes came out, also Pat McGrath came out with another highlighter. This one right here is called Golden Nectar. Now this one, to me, it's also a little bit on the cooler tone. It's a little bit more champagne. It's not super intense. I'm going to swatch it down below here. Yeah, this one has a little bit more warmth to it than Lunar Nude. Now lastly, I do have this trio of highlighters. These were launched, wow, like 3 or 4 years ago. And honestly, these ones are a little bit more holographic. Like this one right here has more pink in it. This one has more yellow. And then this one is, you know, your typical gold. Yeah, very different. So the trio is right here. As you can tell, this pinky, lilac-y, yellow, golden, and here it is the new one, Lunar Nude. I think Lunar Nude is very flattering. I think between Lunar Nude and then Divine Rose, from the entire Pat McGrath repertoire of highlighters, are perhaps the two that will complement more skin tones in general. And now let's go ahead and dive into the eyeshadow quads, starting first with Deep Space Divinity. This quad is made in USA and it has a shelf life of 12 months. Definitely the Unicorn is very consistent with the rest of the collection. And now let's go for the compact right here. So it comes in the typical black lacquer compact, and then let's see how it looks inside. Nice size mirror, just as the highlighter too, it had a nice size mirror, and then these are the shades. Now when we saw this quad right here, I think I'm not the only one, we all immediately thought about Interstellar Icon, the eyeshadow quad from the holiday collection of 2020, this one right here. But when you see it side by side, no, I mean there are similarities, but that blue one right there is actually very different. Another thing to note right here is that size of the pants. If we go to ounces, Interstellar Icon, it says that each of the pants carry 0.07 ounces each. So times 4, it will be 20.28 ounces in total, while this one right here, the new one, Deep Space Divinity, in total, it has 0.15 ounces. Yeah, so almost half. A little bit more than half than this one right here. Now we will talk about that later. Let's just go ahead and start with the swatches and with the eyeshadow look and all of that. Okay. It's actually lighting really nicely. Now we have right here 2 metallic shades. This one right here is more kind of like a duochrome between It has a reddish burgundy base with blue on top, which, you know, leans a little bit on the purpley side. And then we have this burgundy tone right here, which is a matte shade. Brush, Scott Barnes number 62 brush in the shade Dome Fantasia. And I'm gonna take this shade and apply it on the outer third of the eyelid. And whatever is remaining, I'm gonna take it also on my crease. Smith 253 brush and the shade Alien Moon. And I'm taking this shade and applying it from inner portion of my eyelid all the way to the middle of my eyelid. And then because this shade has kind of like a duochrome chip, I'm gonna, with whatever is remaining on the brush, I'm gonna take it also on my mobile lid, but I'm just gonna buff it just a little to mix it in with this shade right here. Isum S31 brush and Golden Aurora, and I'm taking this shade and I'm going to apply it on the inner portion of my eyelid and then also on my brow bone. BK Beauty 204 brush, and I'm going to go to Dawn Fantasia, and then I'm taking this shade and applying it on my lower lash line. Wow, it has been a long time that I haven't applied eyelashes. Honestly, it feels like kind of weird. Okay, so you may be wondering, Jacqueline, why you didn't use this matte shade right here. I'm gonna be honest with you. This shade right here has already a base of this kind. It has a burgundy, almost ox kind of tone, reddish undertone. Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna try on this side right here. So today I'm gonna do 3 eye looks for you. I'm gonna try these together with these, but I'm a little bit afraid because, again, of the undertone of this shade, the base of this shade right here, that it will end up looking like somebody has punched me on the eye and I have a black eye, something like that. Because if you see right here, as I turn, there's a little bit of that reddish tone. I don't know if that camera is able to capture it right there, but I mean, that's my thought process right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and now jump into this shade right here, Sigma E25 brush and the shade Rose Nocturne. This shade is very softly pressed, so I will just take it on my outer V and start packing it in there. And I'm just focusing on the outer third of the eyelid. I'm going back again with this shade, but I just want to make sure that you know that this shade is a little bit on the powdery side, so go lightly and tap the excess. And again, I'm just building up the intensity right here. Smith 253 brush and Alien Moon. And I'm applying this shade inner portion of the eyelid all the way until it meets with that burgundy shade. Scott Barnes number 62 brush, and I'm gonna go to the shade Dawn Fantasia. And I'm taking this shade and applying it above both of these shades and just blending in the edges. And this shade is just gonna bring more warmth to this look. And I'm also gonna take it on the outer part of the eye look and just blending in. Just using the very tip of the brush. Now using my finger, I'm gonna go to Golden Aurora, and this shade I'm gonna apply it right on the center of my eyelid. S31 brush and Golden Aurora, and I'm taking it on the inner corner and also on my brow bone. BK Beauty 204 brush in the shade Dawn Fantasia, and I'm taking this shade and applying it on my lower lash line. Sonia G Flat Definer in the shade Rose Nocturne, and I'm taking this shade and applying it on my lower lash line, kind of like from the middle to the outer third. apologize if the lashes look wonky or the liner, but I'm trying to get through these looks right here so I can jump into the next quad. But let's go right now for a little bit, I don't want to say final thoughts on the quad just yet, but something that I will personally recommend is like this eye look right here. I actually really like it. It doesn't look like I was thinking somebody had a punch on my eye, but it's because I didn't took this burgundy shade right here to this area right here. If you take this burgundy shade and apply it all the way through the crease right here, then it's gonna surround that blue shade and get there to that look of like, you know, you got punch in the eye. Now that's if you have a light skin tone, light to medium skin tone, medium skin tone. If you have deep, rich complexion, these shades are gonna look like stunning on you. So this will depend a lot on also the complexion, also the way that I apply this lighter shade right in the middle. It kind of breaks these two shades, you know, you give them a little bit of like, hey, pause right there, let's not mix them in, because that's what I'm thinking that these eye look, if they were just the blue and the burgundy together, it will look like, again, like I have a black eye. But with this in the middle, it kind of like softens it out the look, and then surrounding the entire look with this shade right here, actually it makes it look very pretty. I think these two shades right here look very, very beautiful. Again, my final thoughts will be at the end of the video, but yeah, let's go ahead and actually make a comparison right here with Interstellar Icon, the one from last year, so that you can really see if they are repeated shades or not. To me they are, and this one has a blue but with a purple base, and this one right here is more of like an eggplant shade, while the one from this year is more of, again, a true burgundy tone. So I'm going to swatch it down below. This one right here is more golden. This shade right here, again, purple with a purple base or lavender base actually. This one is more of like an eggplant shade. And then the last one is a cool tone taupe brown shade that has just a little bit of pewter in it. So as you can tell, they are very different. I mean, in the family alike, they can be companions, but at the end, McGrath is not repeating shades right here with these new quad. I have removed the eyeshadow, and now let's jump into the next quad, which is Bronze Borealis. The Unicard is beautiful, this pink shade right here, I love it. And this palette is made in US, as well as the other palette, both of them with US and imported ingredients, and they both have a shelf life of 12 months. So let me show it to you. Now this one right here is more my type of shades, same kind of component, black lacquer, compact, very nice, weighty. And then when you open it up, you see the nice size mirror right here and the shades. There you go. These are beautiful. Now let's go ahead and give it a quick swatch. There you go. They actually swatch beautiful. We have here Lunar Legend, Sienna Rose, Mint Dusk, and Cyber Bronze. Now this quad right here, we don't see any of the shades that are like duochrome. They are basically, this one right here is more like satin shade. I mean, this one right here you can say kind of like a duochrome because there's a slight shift between kind of like a yeah, kind of like mauvey, pinky undertone, and then we have a matte shade that is more into the mauve tone, and then this metallic shade which is more of like a bronzy tone. Now let's go ahead and start with this eyeshadow look. I'm gonna go to Mint Dusk with Sonia G Classic Crease. I'm taking this shade on the outer V, and then take any excess on the crease. Now if you're wondering, I only have concealer on my eyelids, and I actually didn't set the concealer, so I'm going directly with the powder. And so far I'm not finding any patches, which is great. Sonia G Builder Pro and Sienna Rose. I'm applying this shade between the middle of the eyelid to the outer third. Smith 253 brush and the shade Cyber Bronze. Taking this shade from the inner third of the eyelid all the way until it meets with the other kind of mauvey satin shade. Isum S31 brush and Lunar Legend. I'm applying this on my inner corner and also on my brow bone. BK Beauty 204 brush and Mink Dust. I'm taking this shade on my lower lash line. Sonia G Flat Definer and Cyber Bronze. And I'm taking this shade right on the middle of the lower lash line. Done with this eye look right here, and I'm sorry if you see a little bit of a change in lighting, but you know what, I don't have a switch for the sun or something to move the clouds. Just joking. No, truly, like it went, all of a sudden it went really like deep and kind of like gloomy, and then all of a sudden the sunshine just came out again. Anyhow friends, let's go really quick into comparisons. So I have right here Voyeuristic Vixen, perhaps one of the most beautiful quads from Pat, and all because this shade right here, honestly that shade is just jaw-dropping. And I'm gonna swatch it below. Voyeuristic Vixen right here and Bronze Borealis. Now I have here too Eternal Eden. I really love this quad too. It's very, very pretty, but this one is more pinky, like really pink. This one is more muted, more mauve tone. I mean, there's really, yeah, I mean, honestly, no comparisons. If perhaps you may be thinking these two right here, I'm just gonna swatch them for you against these right here and this one right here. Yeah, they are different. This one right here is from Bronze Borealis and this one Eternal Eden. I mean, within the same family, but different enough. And I think out of the Mothership palettes, this one right here, the OG, the original Divine Rose 1 palette. And if so, I will say there will be this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade, although the finishes are different. These two are the matte shades, and then these ones right here are 3 satin shades, and then one of her astral shades right here. So from here to here, and then this right here is Bronze Borealis. I mean, do you see a theme right here? I guess you see a theme right here. The theme of Divine Rose, right? Okay, so before I jump into my final thoughts, I went ahead and applied a little bit of this blush from Pat McGrath in Desert Orchid. And in fact, this specific blush comes in one of the trio of 2 blushes and a highlighter from this holiday collection. So just to let you know, and again, if you're looking for the blushes and comparisons and all of that, I already have a video here on my channel. I will leave it again on the description box below. Okay, starting first with a highlighter in Lunar Nude. Love the golden packaging. I think it's very luxurious, looks so pretty. The back is also black. I just love the contrast. I love how beautiful is the embossing, the design of this highlighter. You know, and I actually really enjoy the formulation. I also love that the compact has a nice size mirror right there too. Going into the formulation again, I love the formula because it's very soft, it's creamy, and when I say soft, it's not powdery, it's this baked gelée formula that is just so exquisite. It actually went into my skin so beautifully. I was able to buff it and you don't see traces of where it starts and where it ends. And that's something that nowadays that formulations with highlighters have improved so much, is what I look for, mostly because again, I'm already on my 4th floor, so I do have fine lines, I do have, you know, texture, and I don't want to emphasize them. And although highlighters are not natural, the highlighter is supposed, you know, nowadays, at least to me, is to give that extra glow to your skin, so it looks more healthy, it looks more youthful. I'm not looking for that beaming highlighter, which you can achieve with this right here if you pack it on, but what I'm looking for a highlighter is to give me that little extra glow, that my skin looks healthy and youthful, and this does it to me. Also for me, in comparisons with all the rest of the highlighters from Pat McGrath, this one right here, along with the Divine Rose highlighter, I think these two right here are the most wearable ones. For those of us, again, that we have light to medium skin tones, light skin tone, medium skin tone, I think it really caters, both of these shades right here, for different skin tones and different undertones. Because although this one, Divine Rose, is supposed to have more pinky undertone, it actually has more peach undertone to it, which I find it beautiful. And this one instead has a little bit of that champagne, but with a little bit of pink, but without being so cool tone as this one right here. I think this one right here is ideal for those who have more of like medium tan, deep complexions. I know that you cannot find it right now, or if I find it, I will make sure to, you know, put it in the description box below along with a link. But this one right here, I hope that she will bring it back on the collection, because although it wasn't the cup of tea for a lot of people of my complexion or lighter, I think it serves a lot for those with deeper skin tones. So that's that with a highlighter. I 100% recommend it, not only for the beautiful embossing, but also for the actual formulation, payoff, blendability, and all of that. I mean, you don't need to pay this, you know, high price ticket for a highlighter. Definitely there's more out there, but I think it's a really good highlighter. If you were planning to get it, no matter what, you will not be disappointed. Now let's go into the eyeshadow quads right here, starting first with Deep Space Divinity. I mean, I already mentioned to you my way how we use this shade right here because of the undertone. It has that reddish undertone that it could be tricky to use. So that's the reason why I did the second eye look, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to mix these two together, but I can find a way to tweak it so it doesn't look like, you know, I have a black eye, and I like it the way that I see it. But what I really am interested to see next, I will do another eyeshadow look in another video, perhaps if it's not gonna be related to Pat McGrath, but I will just, you know, play around with it, is using this right here all over the eyelid and then going over top with this one right here. I think this combination right here, these two, is stunning. And then this one, spotlight or inner corner and brown bone, it's beautiful. Now, as far as formulation goes, I will have to say on this one, I had a little bit, not on fallout on my face, because I'm very gentle. I'm very gentle when I tap with my brushes, and then I tap the excess. But I can see fallout right here on these two shades right here. They seem to be, I mean, I don't like eyeshadows to be hard pressed, but they are also a little bit on the loose side. These two right here more than these right here. And then the matte shade, I find out that it has beautiful payoff. It didn't went patchy, but it has just a dash of a little bit more kickback than other matte eyeshadows from Pat McGrath. Not that it's bad, I don't feel that the formulation is bad, but definitely I just want you to make you aware of it, because if I go to the next eyeshadow quad, this one right here, Bronze Borealis, this one right here, it's kind of pressed, kind of like the blue shade on this other quad, which is more soft, not, I mean, you can see it's a little bit more crumbly, but it doesn't, you know, fall off in chunks. No, it doesn't. And also, I find out that this particular quad right here, it has what it seems like more emollients than this one right here. This one is not dry, but this one right here, I felt like the eyeshadows from matte to the rest, they glide on really well. Now, talking about in specific about this eyeshadow quad. I think for a gift, it's perfect. It's a beautiful eyeshadow quad. Now, if you're a collector of Pat McGrath, or if you have the Divine Rose #1, I mean, we see we see a trend right here. I think this shade right here is what I find out more special in the sense of undertone. It was even cooler than the ones that are in the Divine Rose #1. But then again, I mean, it's very repetitive, and I know that brands, they are not here to, you know, cater to the collectors, but actually, you know, on the demand. They work on that, on the demand. So if this is what Pat McGrath is known for, that's what we see, you know, this type of, you know, like color story, that it becomes repetitive for those of us that we have so much from Pat McGrath. So I'm not disappointed, because I know on this one I can get really good use out of it. But I will have to say that for being the holidays, I would have liked to see, you know, the formulation along the lines to Voyeuristic Vixen. This gorgeous shade. It's kind of like an astral shade, not that big type, but you know, with that duochrome reflectiveness, this shade just made of the palette, boom. I wish to have seen that to begin with, or I would have rather seen something like this. I mean, not exactly obviously the same shades, but her astral quads. Now, that being said, going now to the pricing, I mean, like everything, I'm not in the business of cosmetics, but in another industry, and right now, nowadays, everything has, the prices have gone up incredible. Like, they have gone up like no other. I mean, like, unfortunately, I mean, like, there's such a shortage on employees at the moment that is causing every single industry, you know, it's a struggle. Honestly, it is a struggle. You know, like this palette right here came out in 2019 when everything was going really fine, and we were looking into 2020 like it's gonna be even a better year. And then it wasn't a better year. You know, it was a very hard year for everybody. So like you can see from the size of the pans, the amount of product, you know, to this plate right here that she was using. Then she went to Voyeuristic Vixen, and she, you know, decided to give us something really nice, but it wasn't yet an astral shade. And then this right here changed to, instead of the plate, to stickers and a little bit of engraving right here, right? And now we see these ones right here, and even the logo, this gold right here, that all of this cost money is now an engraved that says Pat McGrath, which still looks very beautiful. You know, it looks gorgeous. And then again, the stickers, which I don't mind, because most of palettes, even from Chanel, they have the sticker, so it doesn't bother to me at all. And then the amount of product that is less product for the same price. So we're talking here about that. I wish though that one of the shades could have been kind of, again, like the Voyeuristic Vixen, or, you know, an astral shade. And I know right now the costs are really high. You see, I'm telling you all of these not to say like, oh, you know, let's understand Pat McGrath, but I think we have to overall see the overall picture. Next year, we're not going to see the same prices on cosmetics. Things are gonna go up. We need to be prepared for it, you know, budget for it. In fact, you know, like this holiday season, if you're planning to shop, and that's why most of the brands, they decided to start promoting their holiday collection in July, August, and launch things on September. Some of them, they have jumped here onto October, because this is not to create panic or say like go buy. No, but plan. You know, like if you want something, make your shopping list, make your budget right now, and, you know, plan ahead, because everything, there's gonna be delays from shipping, from fulfillment, and all of that. And I don't think, I mean, like usually Pat McGrath, they have a really good sale for the holidays, and I'm pretty sure she may have one this year. but just plan ahead because things are not like 2019. Unfortunately, that's the truth. And then finally, I will have to say this palette right here, if you were thinking that this is very repetitive to the bronze Borealis, no, because this one right here is actually more neutral. Even this brown tone right here, I have my full on review, and these ones right here are more pink. If you're wondering about this shade right here, it's not as mauvey in tone as this one right here from bronze Borealis. Is more pinky in tone right there. So just in case, I mean, there's subtle differences. If you're not going too much for packaging and you just want, you know, the value of it, I will say go with this one right here. Not because the formulation is bad on the quads, but actually because of the value of it. If you want to get more for your money, I know this is carton, it's not like this right here, but you know, like again, it's more of like how much you're getting for the price that you're paying and whatnot. And then last but not least, I think that this quad right here will work really well for any skin tone, honestly, if you know how to play around these shades. Again, try to do not mix these two in like too much, right? But this will look, and even mixing, amazing on those that have deep skin tones, rich skin tones, that beautiful, I like, it will look just amazing. And this one, I mean, for any skin tone pretty much, but I don't want to say that she's catering for two skin tones right here necessarily. It's not the intention, but it's a little bit of my perspective on the palette. Anyhow, my friends, enough talking right here. I know this is a long video already. It's gonna take me a long time to edit. Now, I would love to know from you, are you planning to pick up any of these products from Pat McGrath? What are you excited for? Are you having some on your wish list or not? Perhaps you already have gotten them, and I would love to know from you, what is your experience with them? Are you liking it? Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, please share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye!